if you've been listening to us for a while, you have seen us stand on our head in all kinds of different ways, presenting to you process after process to help you first be aware that you are a vibrational being, and next to help you improve your vibrational stance. Today, we're going to talk to you from inside the vortex, pulling out all the stops, calling you toward who you really are, by helping you to understand that this law of attraction, who really is your friend, has amassed all kinds of wonderful things for you. And in any moment of time, if you don't feel good, it's not because you're not worthy, and it's not because you haven't asked, and it's not because what you've asked for has not been answered. It's because you've been practicing a vibration that is a deviation from what you are asking for. We've noticed, as we've given you processes, that sometimes our processes and others help you to focus yourself more into alignment. But many of you offer so much effort, mostly, and in some cases only, when things aren't going well. In other words, you wait until you're sick before you start intending to be well. You wait until something isn't going well before you focus upon it at all. In other words, it's almost like you've become so problem-oriented that you're sort of stuck in the vibration of the problem much more than you intended when you decided to come forth. Oh, you knew there would be variety. You knew there would be contrast. You knew that the contrast would help you to sharpen your focus. You knew, even if you were a one-celled organism, that this contrast that surrounded you would help you to define new desires, and that the evolution of your species would be about that. You knew all of that. So you came fully understanding contrast and embracing it, because you knew then, the larger part of you still knows, that when a problem comes into focus, the solution does too. We just want to help you get more solution-oriented faster by being more sensitive to your emotions early on, so that you catch those off thoughts, those off memories, those off beliefs, those off vibrations before they get such a foothold that then they really have your attention. It's so much easier to catch them in the early subtle stages than to wait until it is more full-blown in your experience. So toward that end, we're going to make a very striking analogy for you. We really want you to hear this above all things you've ever heard. Did you read Ask and It Is Given? Did you read 22 Processes? This trumps all of them. And here's why. Vibration is everything. So let's say that you are experiencing shortage of dollars, shortage of financial prosperity, or anything really. We're talking about dollars because we have the money and the law of attraction cards here. So you've worried, you've fussed, money is slow and seeming to get slower, and now you're beyond worried, you're fearful. And now you're determined that you're going to do something about it. And you've heard that Abraham, that's us, has written brilliant affirmation cards. It's true. It's true. This is the best combination of words to attract money that has ever been put together in human experience. We are very proud of these cards. So you're standing outside your vortex, worried, and determined to do something about it. So you pick up these brilliant cards and you look for empowerment within them. So you look through them and look through them. My life is as good as I allow it to be. I am always receiving the essence of what I am giving. You got to be kidding. I can follow the trails of good feeling thoughts. I can follow the trail of good feeling money, but I don't know about it. The story I tell is the basis of my life. I'm in deep doo-doo. I am the creator of my own life experience. These are not helpful cards. I can see my world through the eyes of Source. I would like to punch out the eyes of Source. I can deliberately choose to feel better now. There's not one good card here. There's not one good card here. Because these cards are a vibrational match to prosperity. These cards are a vibrational match to abundance. These cards are a vibrational match to what you've put into your vortex, what's in your vortex, to the vibrational beingness that you've already created. But when you are not vibrationally there, these cards irritate you. Like your friends who seem to be the law of attraction police. You know, you create your own reality. So what we're wanting you to understand is that when you are outside the vortex, when you are in that vibration of resistance, when you're down, when you're feeling negative emotion, that is not the time to gird up your loins, to get your lips stiff, especially the upper one. It's not the time for you to dig in and effort, because every effort that you offer backfires. It's like it just brings more of where you are. You know it. Have you ever had a disagreement with someone? You're sure you're right, they're sure they're right, you're complete opposites. And the more you convey, the sure they are you're wrong. It's a stalemate. You just don't get anywhere because you're digging in hard. That's what happens when you work hard to affirm from outside the vortex. So what's the logical answer? The logical answer is get in the vortex and then affirm. Now that's logical. It's logical. Get in the vortex and then affirm. And some people would say, well, if I could get in the vortex, I would affirm, but how do I get in the vortex if I'm not in the vortex? And we say, first of all, what does being in the vortex mean? It means absence of resistance. There are lots of ways to get into the vortex. As soon as you wake up, jump in. First thing in the morning, it's a lot easier to be in there. If you go to bed at night worrying, you'll probably wake up worrying. So you have to get in fast. Go get a massage. Go swimming. Take a run somewhere. Meditate. You are in the vortex many times every day. You just don't stay long enough to really recognize that you're there. And often you don't stay there long enough to really milk it and shift the vibration of it. This is the thing that we really want to emphasize. When you care about how you feel, your vortex will affect, it will cause, it will facilitate a manifestation that is seeable, hearable, smellable, tasteable, touchable. In other words, the manifestation hot on the heels of your alignment that you feel at first. So if you could just give up your need to see it before you believe it, and instead be willing to feel it and believe it before you see it. Esther had an image the other day of one of those big tractor things. There are all kinds of digger machines, but they have those wheels, those tracks. And she could see it dipping into the vortex and then causing a manifestation that, as she looked at the manifestation, caused her to get into the vortex. And because she's in the vortex, it affected the manifestation, and now she's viewing the manifestation, which caused her to get into the vortex. It was sort of like this cycle of alignment. The man on the tractor could not understand her captivation. Watching his wheel go around and round and round. Little did he know that it was a spiritual movement that she was having. Just understanding, because she's beginning to notice in a very powerful way that however she is feeling is affecting manifestation fast. Fast. What you feel affects manifestation fast. So if you're noticing something unwanted and feeling around it, it's affecting more manifestation fast. And you say, well, things aren't so good. Things could be a lot better. I don't like that, and I don't like that, and I don't like that, and I don't like that. And the universe says, Well, then you're not going to like this, and you're not going to like this, and you're not going to like this, and you're not going to like this. And you say, right, I don't like that, and I don't like that, and I don't like that. I should call somebody. I should call somebody and ask them how they would like that, and that, and that, and that, and that. Because maybe if I drag someone else into my chain of pain, they'll take some of it and go off and bury it somewhere. And we say, no, that isn't the way it works. When you involve someone else, now you become more specifically focused upon what isn't wanted, which leads us to really what we think is the most important part of understanding how to connect with your vortex and how to stay in vibrational alignment with your vortex long enough that you begin to see the effect of the manifestations as quickly as now. You were following us earlier when we were talking about the problem creates an equivalent solution. You follow that? But they are different frequencies. So if you're fixated on the problem, you don't have access to the solution, not right now anyway. So the more you focus upon any problem, the more detailed it becomes. In other words, you get focused up on a problem and it comes from every direction. Have you noticed? Standing in line with strangers and they're talking about the very problem. Oh, I can't believe you're saying that. That just happened to me. So as you are focused with greater and greater detail upon the problem begins to gain more momentum. Now, it's a wonderful thing. It's also causing the solution to gain more momentum, but you're not a vibrational match to the solution, so the crevasse, the gap between where you are and who you really are gets wider and wider, and you feel worse and worse. So the more detailed you get, the more specific you get about a problem, the more you hold yourself in vibrational opposition to feeling good and to the solution to your problem and to being who you really are. And so if you are set on specific detail of unwanted things, that's what's going to come back to you. So you're just sort of holding yourself in that spiral of knowing what you don't want and getting more of it, knowing what you don't want and getting more of it, knowing what you don't want and getting more of it. Now, of course, you're not just doing that. You're focused upon a lot of things that you do want. But mostly you're not doing very much of it on purpose. And the reason you're not doing very much of it on purpose is because most everybody you know, 99% of human population is offering your vibrational frequency in response to what you're observing. So if something good happens, you offer a good feeling response, and you goose a little bit more of that into your experience. But if something bad happens, or if you see something unwanted, then you're filling your vibrational coffers with that, so to speak. So what we want you to understand is that when you have anything going on that is not wanted, whether it is mild or severe, that the more specific you are, the more severe it becomes. And that the answer to breaking that pattern is to not try to jump into the pure positive, because you can't, but to get general. And we're talking generally negative. So as you begin speaking generally negative instead of specifically negative, then this spiral that's got a grip on you begins to lose its grip. And you begin noticing right away by the feedback that comes back to you. Two kinds of feedback coming to you: emotional feedback and manifestational feedback. We really want you to think of manifestational feedback as the best friend that you've ever had, because what manifests is reflecting where you are. What manifests is reflecting what you are creating. What you are creating. What you are creating. Not what happened to you. Not what happened to somebody else. What you are creating, what you are creating, what you are creating, what you are creating. It would be like driving down the freeway. Esther does it frequently. And those little bumps on the side of the road that quite often awaken Jerry from his nap, because he knows that something could be going terribly wrong when he hears those bumps on the side of the road. And it would be like just completely ignoring the side of the road. Oh, I know it says don't enter, that it's one-way traffic coming the other way, but what the heck? Odds are I'll do all right. I'm alert. And we say, you just don't want to play with fire like that. When negative emotion is present, it's letting you know that you have entered a minefield where the likelihood of you observing more things that are going to hold you and cause you to be more specific is very great. So when you say, I'm going to pay attention to the way I feel, and I'm going to notice that the more general I am about something that doesn't feel good, that the better I feel. And then you begin noticing the manifestational evidence of that. Now you're on